It's all good.
This time, I'd like to call to order the Yukon, Oklahoma City Council meeting for April 15th, 2014. You would rise with me for the invocation from Pastor Roger Woodrum and the flag salute.
Father, we come to you tonight with thanksgiving in our heart for our city and for the wonderful people who are here and for those who represent us here, Father. And we thank you for their love for the city and their love for the people here, which is the city, of course, Lord. And I just pray tonight that you will bless all their decisions. And I know they can't please all of us. There's too many of us. But I know they can please you and they can do what's best for all of us. And so I just ask that you would help them to do that, Lord. For I pray in Jesus' name. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Call the roll, please.
Smith.
Here.
Gerba.
Yeah.
Alberts. Excuse me.
Here.
McCarran.
Here.
Yonda.
Here.
It's time for presentations and proclamations.
No proclamations tonight.
None this evening. We actually do have a presentation. We have a presentation for one of our fellow councilmen, someone that I hope I'm speaking and sure I'm speaking for the rest of us up here on this horseshoe, that we so much appreciate the efforts and the thought that went into every decision and vote that he made during the time that he was on this council. And we would, as a city and as a council, would like to say thank you, Mr. Gerba, very much.
You bet.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. It's a new car. For the record, it's not a new car.
Yeah, we're this one.
This is the visitor section of our meeting. If there's anyone here, Yukon citizen, that would like to address the council on a non-agenda item, this is your opportunity to do so. Please come forward and state your name and address. Do we have any visitors? Seeing none, we will recess as the Yukon City Council and reconvene as the Yukon Municipal Authority. Item 1A is the consent docket. This item is placed on the agenda so the Yukon Municipal Authority, by unanimous consent, can designate these routine items as they wish to be approved by one motion. If an item does not meet with the approval of all authority members, that item will be heard in regular order. The city manager recommends a motion to approve A, the minutes of the regular meeting of April 1st, 2014, and B, payment of material claims in the amount of $269,296. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Do we have any discussion? Do we have any discussion? Seeing none, call the roll, please.
Yonda.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
McCarran.
Yes.
Alberts.
Yes.
Gerba.
Yes.
This time we'll adjourn as YMA and reconvene as a Yukon City Council. Item 1 is the consent docket. This item is placed on the agenda so the City Council, by unanimous consent, can designate those routine items they wish to be approved by one motion. If an item does not meet with the approval of all council members, that item will be heard in regular order. The city manager recommends a motion that will approve A, the minutes of the regular meeting of April 1st, 2014, B, payment of material claims in the amount of $316,745.08, C, designating the items on the attached list from the technology department as surplus and authorizing their sale, donation, or trade, D, appointment of Kathy Wright to the Park Board representing Ward 3 as recommended by Council Member Donna Yonda, E, appointment of Dayton Betts to the Park Board representing the at-large ward as recommended by Mayor Smith, F, appointment of Darrell R. Golden to the Traffic Commission representing Ward 4 as recommended by Council Member Michael McCarran, G, appointment of Ed Hatley to the Planning Commission representing the at-large ward as recommended by Mayor Smith, H, accepting Oklahoma Department of Environmental Quality Permit number WL00009140179 for the construction of approximately 95 linear feet of 8-inch fire line and appurtenances to serve the City of Yukon Cowboy Church Fire Line Extension Project, Canadian County, Oklahoma. I, setting the date for the next regular council meeting for May 6, 2014, 7 p.m. in the council chambers of the Centennial Building, 12 South 5th Street. Do I have a motion?
Motion to approve?
Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Do we have any discussion? Seeing no discussion, call the roll, please.
Smith?
Yes?
McCarron?
Yes.
Yonda?
Yes.
Gerba?
Yes.
Alberts?
Yes.
Item 2 is reports of boards, commissions, and city officials.
None this evening, Mayor.
Thank you, sir. Item 3, consider approving an expenditure of funds in the amount of $34,208.50 for complete modification of the signal lights at Cornwell and Vandament to be paid from the capital improvement funds as recommended by the Public Works Director. Do I have a motion?
So moved. Second.
Thank you. Do we have any discussion?
I have a question. I know in our packet we get an explanation, but during this campaign season, a few people brought up, why don't we ever ask any questions about some of this stuff? So, Grayson, do you mind just giving a little snippet about what a complete modification of these signals would involve?
It includes all new signal lights, a new controller, as well as we're going to leave the poles, the mast arms, but it'll be changed over to the modern style LED lights throughout, as well as the timing of all of those lights and adding those to our maintenance grid. All the wiring, yes. All new cabling.
Thank you.
Do we have any further discussion? Any further discussion? Call the roll, please.
Alberts?
Yes.
Gerba?
Yes.
Yonda?
Yes.
Smith?
Yes.
McCarron?
Yes.
Item 4, consider approving a request for acceptance of approving the off-site sanitary line easement to serve the Yukon Crossing Block 1, Lot 1, northwest corner of Yukon Parkway and Main Street from Yukon Crossing LLC as recommended by the Planning Director.
So moved.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Do we have any discussion? Any discussion? Seeing none, call the roll, please.
Gerba?
Yes.
Smith?
Yes?
Alberts?
Yes.
McCarron?
Yes.
Yonda?
Yes.
Item 5 is consider approving extending the city's guarantee on the Yukon BMX loan from May 20th, 2014 through May 21st, 2015. Do we have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Thank you. Do we have any discussion?
I do. First of all,
Robert?
I thought when I read this that the loan was going to be paid off. There were just a few more payments. Is it another?
10 payments.
Okay. So just 10 payments.
I believe in what I read, it's about a $2,250 balance.
Right. Okay.
$22.77.
Okay. Nothing else.
Thank you. Do we have any further discussion? Seeing none, call the roll, please.
McCarron?
Yes.
Yonda?
Yes.
Alberts?
Yes.
Gerba?
Yes.
Smith?
Yes. Item 6 is the city manager's report. These are information items only.
Sales tax report is a little bit of a mixed bag this month. First of all, the actual collections by the city were down 2.79%. That is in light of the first of a correction withdrawal from the Oklahoma Tax Commission for a payment that was made to the city of Yukon, which in fact was due to the city of Oklahoma City. That was about $290,000. If you adjust our sales tax collection for that particular half the payment, $145,000 and some odd dollars, our actual sales tax for the month was up 7.84%. So that leaves us at a 5.76% up for the entire year, and in fact, a good report. The other thing that I continue to talk about is the volatility of the use tax. Our use tax last month, if you will remember, was actually down 44.31%. This month, our use tax is up 49.4%, and our total year-to-date collections are up 41.71%. So another good sales tax report. Events report. On May the 3rd, Saturday, May the 3rd, we have Festival of the Child. It's from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. The cost is $5 in advance for the kiddos, $7 the day of the event. Adults are free for the entire event. Lots of activities, over 50 areas of activities, including crafts, storytelling, kayaking, moon bounces, performing arts stage, and more. It's always a wonderful event. You will remember that this is one of our award-winning special events for the year. On Friday, May 16th, is the Bike to Work Day. If you have not participated in this, I would encourage you to do so. It's free to ride, so get on your bicycle and ride your bike to work. On May the 18th is the Hershey Track Meet at the middle school track, and it's open to all youth from not only Yukon but the entire surrounding area. Pre-registration is required, and you do that at the Jackie Cooper Gym. And then finally, the first announcement of another event, which is Saturday, June the 7th, the Chisholm Trail Crawfish Festival at the Kirkpatrick Family Farm on Garth Brooks Boulevard. It's a celebration of the history and heritage of the Chisholm Trail, and it's done Cajun style. So we have Buffalo Bill's Wild West Show, we have gunfights, chicken racing, kids, creative corral, a goat grab, crawfish eating contest. It's all with live Cajun music, including the dance lessons. It's from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Admission is free. I'd like to give you a quick report of our recycling event that was, we currently are during the last, several weeks, we have been scalping our yards. And as part of that, the city cooperates with a period of time when we pick up all of your scalped grass clippings and yard debris. Currently, we have picked up 3,796 bags of yard debris. That amounts to 495 cubic yards of grass clippings and yard debris, and that amounts to 99 tons of debris. Bill, thank you. We appreciate your work. Also, Friday is Good Friday, and the residential routes that are due to be picked up on Friday will in fact be picked up on Monday. We will run an extra route or two on Monday, make sure that everybody is picked up right on time. And then the Big Junk Recycle event is April the 26th from 9 a.m. at 2 p.m. at the transfer station. You'll need your current utility bill to show your residency, and bring all your recyclables down to the recycling center. Also, we this last week went to Washington, D.C. for a thank you tour, if you will, and we were able to see Congressman Mark Wayne Mullen from Westville, as well as Frank Lucas, our particular congressman, and Senator Inhofe, all who have been very supportive of our efforts in getting the Corps of Engineer grant restored. It means $4 million of free money to the city of Yukon. We anticipate, after our talks with the Corps of Engineers, they are very anxious I think Robbie would be the way to characterize that, to get the money spent, and we are moving forward very quickly to make sure that we accommodate them on water system improvements, to include the extension of a 12-inch water line from in front of Frisco Ridge Housing Addition to west to Frisco Road, down the east side of Frisco Road to Vandament, and then all the way down Vandament to just about where the ODOT yard is, and reconnecting. It will also include the construction of a 100,000-gallon standpipe along Frisco Road, as well as we anticipate, Robbie, several $100,000 more of sewer line bursting to improve our sewer system within the city. So good news in that regard. I'll also tell you that on May the 20th, the second meeting of May the 20th, we will have to cancel the council meeting. There will be no council meeting on the 20th, as we cannot get a quorum for that particular meeting, because we will be at the ICSC meeting trying to get some more retailers to come and join us here in Yukon. So I'm just letting you know, for the first time on May 20th, the meeting will be canceled. With that, Mayor, I stand, I think that's it, and I stand ready for your questions.
All right, I did have just one question myself on the sales tax report. The approximately $290,000 that the state is gonna have us repay, as I understand, that wasn't our money to start with. And our, yourself and our city treasurer at that time had the foresight to set that money aside.
Actually, this does come out of sales tax. The $290,000 that we set aside, let's see if I can't get that was actually set aside in December sales collection, so it was February of 2013. We set that aside. That was actually use tax, so that money is still in the bank.
Very good, thank you. Appreciate the clarification. Do we have any other questions for the city manager?
Oh, I just have one, Grayson, for the, all of our yard waste, that goes directly to the landfill, correct?
That does.
Okay, thanks.
Any other questions?
Seeing no further questions, item 7 is new business, and we actually have some new business this evening.
Yes, we do. We were notified late yesterday afternoon, and I have before you a memorandum including an agenda item. We were chosen to receive funding out of the 2012 appropriation from Homeland Security to buy new radios and a new repeater. So I'd like to place that on the agenda. Doug and I have reviewed this and believe that it does come under new business, in that it has to be approved before the next council meeting is held, and we really are needing to get this signed and sent back in. It is a 100% grant, by the way, no match.
At this point, I should probably read our paragraph here. Consider accepting a grant from the Oklahoma Office of Homeland Security, OKOHS 2012 grant program in the amount of $48,960 to update the current VHF radio repeater system and purchase 36 additional radios for the fire department, and authorizing city manager to execute the grant award documents as requested by OKOHCS. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Do we have any discussion? Any discussion? Just one quick clarification. That $48,960 is free money to the city. It's not a matching grant, correct?
That's correct.
Thank you very much. Do we have any further discussion? Seeing none, call the roll, please.
Alberts.
Yes.
Gerba.
Yes.
McCarron.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Yonda.
Yes.
Item 8 is council discussion. Council discussion. Mr. McCarron.
Well, Yukon is, of course, a great place to be. I say that pretty regularly in the absence of our ex-councilman who used to just, he screams a lot louder than I do. I did want to say thank you to all of the folks who chose Kathy Wright, Dayton Betts, Ed Hatley, and Mr. Darrell Golden for stepping up to the plate and filling in some slots that we have open on our committees and stuff that do a lot of work for us. You know, it's a pretty thankless task sometimes, and I appreciate each and every one of them that has taken the time to bite the bullet and step up and contribute to the community. They are indeed people that are special. I did want to thank Councilman Alberts tonight for actually asking a question. I think we need to do that a little bit more. And every time I do it, then, you know, I get whacked on that. But it is important that if anyone ever has a question about things, to come up and ask. You know, a lot of times we go through this, and of course, I'm supplied with a lot of information. So, if something is a problem, we'd like to see it ahead of time. And once again, I yield to the mayor.
Thank you, Mr. McCarron. Councilwoman Yonda.
Well, I would like to welcome the new board members to the respective boards and thank you for serving. Also, I was very encouraged on our trip to Washington, D.C. that all of our leaders in Washington certainly know what's going on in Yukon, and they certainly support everything that we're doing here. So that was just very encouraging. And then the next neighborhood planning meeting for the sports facility will be this Thursday. It's at the Yukon Middle School Black Box Theater, and I encourage all the citizens to come and express your wishes and desires for the new sports facility. And Nick, I've enjoyed serving with you for the short time I've been here, and thank you for serving Yukon.
Thank you, Donna. Appreciate it.
Mr. Alberts.
Well, Nick, thank you. I appreciate your hard work and your thoughtfulness and your perspective and all that you've given to this city and to this council. So we're better for you being here. Thank you very much for your time and your dedication, your commitment, and don't spend what you made all at once.
Yeah, there you go. It's gonna be hard to do.
And then I want to say something about the BMX. I think that several years ago, they had a vision and they came before this council and asked that we assist them, and we did. We helped sign off on that loan, and it's good to see that it's coming to fruition and be paid off and everything will be paid for. But that's been a really good partnership, and it's a great facility. It hosts some really good events, and I mean, it's just been a really good partnership. But I don't know that there are any BMXers here tonight, but I just wanted them to know that I appreciate the fact that they came here and they promised that they would work hard to make it a good facility and that they would pay the money, and they did it. So I thank you, and they should be thanked. It's the springtime and started to run a little bit, and others I see out running and walking and everything, but when I do that, I start to see cigarette butts and trash, and we have a street sweeper in our town is looking great, and it's clean. We have our new black poles up, and there are things that are going on to make our city look wonderful. But I just would continue to challenge the citizens and even some businesses, because I notice sometimes when I come out in front of businesses, there are cups and different things that don't have anything to do with the business. The wind blew it there. And having owned commercial property in the past down in Mustang, I would get a call from Mustang every once in a while, and they told me that I needed to come and pick up the trash off my lot. Well, I own a grass lot. Well, all the trash would blow from my neighbors over on, and I would have to go and pick that up. But I would challenge, if you see a cigarette butt or if you see some trash or something, just help be a part of a better community. I mean, the city is working really hard, and a lot of the community is, but just continue to make it a better place to live by just bend over, pick up a piece of trash, and throw it in the dumpster. On the same line, as far as the springtime, there's a lot of walkers, runners. We're working over in the park even to extend the walkways, and there'll be more people getting active. Be careful, watch out. So if you see someone on a bicycle or you see someone walking across the street, be careful. But also, if you're a biker or a runner, those cars are bigger than you are. Be cautious, be careful. The last thing that I have, I wanted to continue with what Mike said, and I agree with you that we should from time to time probably ask some more questions. But that leads me over here to Mr. Sigler. The audience, they can come forward on an agenda item and ask a question as well, can't they?
Only before a motion's made. Once the item is called or read, then the public generally has an opportunity to come and make some kind of comment if allowed by the chairperson.
Yep.
He can't hear you.
Generally speaking, that's going to be reserved to the chairman or the mayor in this particular instance. But if they're allowed to make comments, then the public would make comments, or the board, the council would receive comments after the item is read, but before a motion is made. Once a motion is made, it's all on the council.
Okay, so,
But that does not necessarily mean that they have the right to do it. It's a matter of letting the mayor run his meeting.
okay, so if a person's here and has a question about an agenda item, how would they make it known that they want? Because I think it's important, because that was one thing that I'd heard about several times, is that, what do we, we read this off and it just.
And that's what the agenda is set up for, visitors to come and speak to a non-agenda item. And so
Right.
there's a period of time for that. If the chairperson or the mayor in this particular instance wants to allow visitors to come and discuss or make comments on an agenda item, then that's up to the chairman, who runs the meeting. And they would be able to read the item, ask for visitor comments, and then once a motion is made, that floor is closed.
Okay, but a lot of times we've had discussions. We had discussions over the stop sign. We've had discussions whenever there have been times whenever citizens have been here asking questions before. I don't understand the difference. Because in the past, after the motion was made.
I understand that, but that's just not really protocol, but we've allowed it to occur because it hasn't been disruptive to the meetings.
Okay,
When some public bodies don't allow any visitor comments at all, period.
so we don't have there's no, I guess it wouldn't be an ordinance, no policy, no.
We don't have a standard operating procedure, correct? We don't have a policy or procedure on that.
Okay, thank you.
Would, I guess, well, is it possible for you to suggest something to us that would be appropriate in the way we currently run our meetings?
I'll visit with the city manager, but we need to kind of not have much more discussion on that at this juncture.
Well, that's.
Thank you,
yeah,
Mr.
that's
Segler.
fine.
Is that all, Mr. Alberts?
That's it.
All right, thank you so much. And along that line, I want to stress that not just myself, I believe anyone on the council would love to hear from any citizen that has a comment on an agenda item or question on an agenda item. And I can assure you that if you were here prior to a meeting, even moments before, and you make me aware of it, that you have something to say on an agenda item, if you are a citizen of Yukon, I will most certainly give you the opportunity to ask what question or questions you may have on that agenda item at the time the agenda item is read. That being said, along the lines of questions, when we have an agenda item, we as councilmen are provided much detailed information on each agenda item days prior to our city council meeting. And it is our responsibility as councilmen to review that information, familiarize ourselves with it, educate ourselves with the issue so that we make the proper decision as we sit up here to make a vote. So though we may not, for the sake of effective time management, go over each item that we are provided and how we made our decisions while we're sitting on the council, we are provided the information, and we do our research to make sure that what we are deciding, at least I'll speak for myself in this case, and I believe holds true to the other councilmen, that we are informed we inform ourselves prior to any vote being taken. So it's not like the votes are being discounted or research isn't being done. But that being said, again, if we have a citizen that, and I believe, now correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Bottom, I believe that the information, the background information that we are provided on these agenda items is public information,
Public record.
public record. So it is on the website. Okay, so that should assist any citizens that are interested in an agenda item to be able to educate themselves as well prior to coming. Did you have something to add, Mr. Bottom?
I do. From a lay perspective, not a legal perspective, the meeting that you are sitting in this evening is controlled by the Open Meetings Act of the great state of Oklahoma. Those laws are very specific. This is a business meeting. It is not a town hall meeting. That is a very important distinction to remember, that this is where we conduct business. So as we approach each one of these items and public discussion that may or may not occur concerning each item on the agenda, remember that the idea is to conduct business. So just as we move forward on this particular topic, these are not town hall meetings. And by the way, if they are conducted as such, we are in violation of the Oklahoma's Open Meetings Act. Am I correct, Mr. City Manager, or City Attorney?
Yes, sir. There's a thin line there, and we certainly don't want to cross it.
Thank you. And now, our Councilman Gerba, we have saved you for last, my friend.
That was nice of you. Thanks. Okay, let me get started with tomorrow night at the Dale Robertson Center. The Oklahoma Water Resources Board is hosting a meeting, and this is the first time it's been in Yukon, but it's called the Water for 2060 Hotspot Meeting. I would really urge anybody who's interested in water, which is a major issue for us here in Oklahoma, to attend this meeting. There's going to be a lot of discussion about the way forward from Yukon's perspective all the way to basically state perspective as far as what we need to do to solve some of our water issues. So if anybody's interested, it's going to be at 6 p.m. at the Dale Robertson Center tomorrow night. And just to read a quick blurb out of their what they're talking about, it's the most significant water supply challenges for the next 50 years. And the whole charter here is to meet the long-term water needs of every Oklahoman. So if anybody wants some information, I've got some extra information for you. So that's tomorrow night. Also, I attended a Yukon sports facility meeting our first one that we had last week. Got a lot of great input. So I urge everybody who has an opinion over what our parks or sports facilities should look like should attend. It's an open forum. Basically, people just sitting around discussing what we should do and go forward. And I'm going to be stepping down from the council, but this to me is so important to our community, and I just hope we keep the momentum going because it's the right thing to do for our community. And last but not least, I want to congratulate Richard Russell for winning the seat convincingly. Great job on the election. It's been a really fun 4 years for me. I've learned a lot. The progress we've made as a city has been just astounding to me in the last 4 years. The climate, the culture, just the feel of the council and the feel of the city has changed a lot. And I'm exceptionally proud of our departments, city manager, our city staff, my council members. I'm very, very proud of everything that you've all accomplished in the last 4 years. So my hat's off to you. I really appreciate the support. And also, I just want to basically thank all the citizens of Yukon for making this such a fun and such an easy job for the most part. There's been some challenges here and there, but it's been a great pleasure, and I just thank all of you for your leadership and guidance. And that's all I have.
Thank you for your service, Mr. Gerba.
My pleasure.
You bet.
With that, we stand adjourned.